Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the book Looking Directly at the Mind, The Moonlight of Mahamudra by Trangu Rinpoche. The word Mahamudra is a Sanskrit term that translates to the Great Seal. It's a concept in Tibetan Buddhism that signifies the ultimate nature of reality, one that integrates both wisdom and compassion. The book is a detailed exposition on Mahamudra meditation, a central practice within the Kashu school of Tibetan Buddhism. Trangu Rinpoche presents the teachings of Mahamudra, which is concerned with directly experiencing the nature of mind to realize enlightenment. The book is structured around practical instructions for meditation, and it offers philosophical insight into Buddhist concepts such as emptiness, mind nature, and non-duality. Rinpoche explains the stages of practice and integrates these teachings with Mahamudra philosophy. He combines traditional teachings with relatable examples that help readers connect these sometimes abstract concepts with the flow of their daily lives. The central thesis of Trangu Rinpoche's text is that the practice of Mahamudra offers a direct path to realizing the nature of the mind, which is inseparable from ultimate reality. This realization leads to enlightenment and is characterized by the cessation of suffering and the attainment of profound wisdom and compassion. Rinpoche argues that by looking directly at the mind without any conceptual filters or distractions, one can experience this nature and achieve spiritual liberation. The argument proceeds as follows. Premise 1. The mind is empty and devoid of intrinsic existence. Premise 2. This emptiness can only be realized through direct meditative experience, not through conceptual thought. Premise 3. Mahamudra meditation is a practice that facilitates direct realization of the mind's emptiness. Premise 4. Realization of emptiness leads to liberation from suffering and the attainment of enlightenment. Conclusion. Therefore, Mahamudra meditation leads to enlightenment by revealing the true empty nature of the mind. In the book, Rinpoche explains that most of us are caught up in the turbulence of our own thoughts. We identify with every worry, every plan, and every memory. The practice of Shamata is about creating a sense of spaciousness, about learning to rest the mind in the present moment without being pulled in 100 directions. This is where many people's journey into meditation begins, with learning to simply be present. But the true core of looking directly at the mind lies in the concept of insight or Vipashyana. Trangu Rinpoche guides us to look directly at our mind and ask, what is it? When we examine our thoughts, what do we find? Are they solid? Are they permanent? Or are they like clouds in the sky, insubstantial and fleeting? Rinpoche uses a beautiful analogy. He suggests we view thoughts like waves on the ocean. We often get caught up in these waves. A particularly exciting or terrifying thought might feel like a tidal wave. But when we learn to look at the mind with clarity, we begin to see that these waves are not separate from the ocean itself. They arise, they change, and they dissolve back into the water. Our thoughts, in a similar way, arise from the mind, exist for a time, and then dissolve back into it. The mind itself, like the ocean, remains. This analogy helps us understand one of the core lessons of the book, that thoughts and emotions are not something to fear or to suppress. Instead, they are natural expressions of the mind. They are transient. When we stop seeing them as obstacles and begin to experience them as a part of a so the broader reality, we come to realize that the mind is fundamentally open, spacious, and clear. This realization can have a profound effect on how we relate to ourselves and to others. Many of us carry a sense of not being enough, or we are haunted by particular emotions like anger or anxiety. Rinpoche encourages us to see these emotions as waves, temporary, passing, and ultimately inseparable from the greater expanse of our minds. Trangu Rinpoche also emphasizes the importance of compassion on this journey. As we begin to understand our own minds more clearly, we also begin to understand the experience or experiences of others. We see that just as we struggle with our own waves of thought and emotion, so does everybody else. This realization naturally fosters compassion. Mahamudra, as Rinpoche teaches, isn't just an insight into the nature of reality. It's a call to open our hearts, to be present with our own experiences and with those of others in a compassionate way. Looking directly at the mind is a profound guide not only for meditators, but for anyone interested in understanding their mind, their experience, and how to live with greater peace and compassion. It encourages us to recognize that our true nature is not defined by the fleeting thoughts and emotions that arise, but by the spacious awareness that holds them all. Trangu Rinpoche presents a coherent and structured case for Mahamudra meditation as a direct path to enlightenment. Though its premises rely on specific metaphysical assumptions that are more accessible within the context of Buddhist practice, rather than through purely philosophical analysis. I hope that this brief presentation of Trangu Rinpoche's book has been illuminating, and if you're inspired, I encourage you to pick up a copy and read it for yourselves. There is a lot of wisdom in these pages, more than I could possibly convey in just a couple of minutes. And meditation, can seem daunting at first, but it begins with small steps. And to make this a bit more tangible, I would like to offer a short prayer, type of prayer that encapsulates the Bodhisattva mindset at the end of this video. It is the text of the Four Immeasurables, and it goes: May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Thank you for joining, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.